Back overseas now, Houthi terrorists aren't just attacking our military assets, but their missiles in the Red Sea are now starting to kill our commerce. Because of rising tensions, ships have to reroute, which means more fuel and freight costs, and eventually that means we all end up paying the price. And now Houthis are even adding another weapon to their arsenal, an unmanned submarine. So now this global war is impacting the global supply chain as well. Revenue generated by these vessels moving in and out of Egypt's Suez Canal have dropped 40 to 50% after the Houthi attacks on those ships. So major shipping companies are having to divert, sailing longer routes. So when it comes to delivering goods that we depend on, well, we're all paying the price. Our national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy joins us now. Also, international law and maritime security expert Dr. Ian Raby. He's been following the tensions in the Middle East and how it's really starting to make an impact on our economy. Mick, let's start with you and this unmanned submarine first. Don't destroyers have the capability just to blow these right out of the water?
So, Kara, yes, they do. Obviously, they have to protect themselves from both aerial, surface, and subsurface. And just like a torpedo or a submarine, they have the capacity to do that. That said, it looks to me like the Houthis and the Iranian backers are really trying to change the strategy here to cause a tactical dilemma for the U.S. military, both to defend themselves and these commercial ships, because they could essentially do a swarm, a multi-dimensional swarm, which could overwhelm the defenses if they send enough of them at them. And I think that is something that should be very concerning to all of us.
So, Ian, let's talk about these commercial ships. What exactly is being moved through these lanes? And give us specifics on goods and products that we depend on, and then how it's going to continue to cost us if we've got to ultimately pay for all these diversions and routes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's important to start off by saying that 30% of the world's container traffic moved through the Red Sea prior to all of this, and that is largely what has diverted since. That is all our goods. That's food, that's clothes, that's everything that we go to the store to buy. So we often say no shipping, no shopping, and in this case, we are now seeing shipping having to reroute around the continent of Africa. And so we are still seeing bulkers, which carry bulk goods like grain and other food supplies, as well as tankers, which carry both oil and chemicals moving through the Red Sea. And that accounts for the roughly 43% of shipping that is still going through that we would expect. But it means that the goods that we rely on and a lot of our economic drivers are circumnavigating the continent of Africa. That has put a 130% increase on the southern tip of Africa, the Cape of Good Hope, which means that we are seeing new choke points, new areas of concern, and it's putting a lot of pressure on African ports. And so the consequences of this are still being felt in a lot of different ways, and we could see it get a lot worse. So not only could we now have other areas of security concern like piracy or terrorist attacks elsewhere, but even an incident, an accident could disrupt the very thin margin that we're now operating on to maintain the supply chains, because our shipping lines have done an amazing job of showing agility, but there's only so much they can do. And so now with a catastrophic spill, for example, if one of the Houthi missiles hits one of the tankers that's going through, could not only take out the access to some of the areas through that spill, but also the desalination plants of people in the region. And so there are a lot of follow-on consequences that could lead to food not being able to get to the places it needs to go, and consequencing a famine. Egypt is losing 57% of its income from the Suez Canal right now. That's about $56 total billion towards its income that is now at stake, and that's a huge consequence if it has an economic collapse. And finally, with that attack on using unmanned underwater vessels, one of the things we know the Houthis are looking to do is attack the submarine cable infrastructure that's going through the Red Sea, which accounts for a third of the world's internet, and roughly $10 trillion of economic activity a day go through those cables. So there's a lot of add-on harm that we could still be feeling as the weeks and months of this crisis continue.
Wow, no ships, no shipping, no surfing on the internet. I got so much by what you just said, Ian. Final question to you, Mick. Just listening to how bad this could get, what we're already feeling as Ian kind of brings it all together. What more can coalition forces do then to protect these shipping lanes?
So Ian certainly did lay out the significant issues that are happening now. And just imagine if some of these get through, sink a ship, environmental disaster, hit a U.S. military ship, which is essentially an act of war. There's a lot of consequences to their actions. So what can they do right now? They're going to try to stop them because these are really advanced weapon systems. So most people don't believe the Houthis can manufacture these in Yemen. So they're coming from Iran. So stop the inflow of these weapons from Iran into Yemen. And then, of course, deplete their capabilities inside Yemen, their storage facilities and their launch sites.
Wow. Mick Mulray, Ian Ralby, appreciate you both. It's a lot to digest. Clearly, this war is it's affecting more than just the water and the skies, but also everyday needs across the globe, including here in the U.S. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.